Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Smackdown review for March 21st, 2017. My pretty much overall feelings about this show is Smackdown finally hit a decent show, number one. Number two, for the first time ever, there was something that Miz did that I actually found entertaining and worth watching for about a total span of 10 minutes. The guy actually got me to laugh, and laugh hysterically. People may say to me, well, Bruce, don't you think that's a little weird to be laughing at such a lame, corny, pathetic segment on John Cena and Nikki Bella's life? And I say no. You want to know why? Because all he was doing was making fun of how pathetic reality television really is. And yet, he actually did that before he got involved in the wrestling business. And I find that extremely ironic. I find it very funny. And I find how he kept trying to make John Cena sound like RoboCop the entire fucking show. I thought it was great. I thought the final little segment that they did where he does he pretends he's going to propose to her with a diamond ring in their final little scene, and he starts teaching her how to tie her shoes. I think that was outstandingly funny. I think it was hilarious. I just really could not get over how fucking impressed I was with The Miz playing a fucking lame-ass, joked-out John Cena for 10 minutes throughout the entire show. I thought it was fucking great. Nothing about what he did was bad at all. I thought it was outstanding. Maurice was kind of stupid as fuck. But Miz playing as John Cena was great. Now, going into John Cena's little thing with Nikki Bella, the actual real people of the ones that were in a match with Fandango, John Cena was in the match against Fandango while Tyler Breeze was acting as Nikki Bella. Now, I even said this to myself. I said, how low can you go? Like, how badly do you want to trade in your fucking self-dignity and do what Tyler Breeze did for $1? This definitely says what these wrestlers today do. I am starting to believe the comment that Vince McMahon said 3 years ago to fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin on his podcast. I am starting to believe that these guys do not care, do not have the integrity, the guts to go after that brass ring. I do not believe that they give a flying fuck whether or not they become something great within that company. If that was me and I was Tyler Breeze, I'd say, Vince McMahon, you got some fucking balls to be making me dress up as fucking Nikki Bella, to make a mockery out of myself, number one, to make fun of her for the sake of helping building up a storyline for a fucking load of crap that two guys have already been built into. They don't need my ass to help build a fucking storyline between John Cena and The Miz with Nikki Bella and Maurice. I'm sorry. That part of it I did not like. I thought that was a total... And it makes my feelings toward Tyler Breeze totally gone. I just do not give a fuck. For him to go ahead and just be okay with that and walk out there for $1 just to do that makes me sick. I think that was the one thing about SmackDown tonight that I disliked. I thought that was absolute garbage. And that's all I really have to say, really, on my rant on that. John Cena went ahead and FU'd, or attitude adjustment on Fandango, and as well as Nikki Bella doing a um, her finishing maneuver, putting Tyler Breeze on her shoulders, and then doing her own move. That was fucking impressive. I was actually impressed by Nikki Bella doing that to Tyler Breeze, and that is well deserved. Tyler Breeze is a fucking dumbass. So that's my feelings towards that situation. But, getting into things that are actually, other than that, we have a serious situation going on with AJ Styles and Shane McMahon. AJ Styles came out earlier during the night, pretty much announced that, hey, Shane McMahon may have decided to supposedly unfire me and hire me back to the company of Smackdown and all that jazz, and I'm just planning on going ahead and stating this. It's as fun as beating up John Cena, so it's fun beating up Shane McMahon. And I'm going to go ahead and beat up Shane McMahon when he comes to the arena tonight. So, he's standing outside for about the entire night, going ahead and talking about how he's going to beat up Shane McMahon. He's just waiting for the right time to do so. Just about the end of the night, we see Shane McMahon, or a car pull up, and he thinks it's Shane McMahon, and it's Rhino and Heath Slater. Why Rhino and Heath Slater showed up at near the end of the show is beyond me. I have no fucking idea where that made any freaking sense whatsoever. That was kind of stupid as hell. So that was kind of ridiculous. And they don't really give an explanation how Shane McMahon managed to get into the arena without AJ finding out that he wasn't going to be there. So that's really kind of stupid. They also state that Mauro Ranallo was out sick and not at the show for a second week in a row. Now, here's my attitude on that announcement. I'm starting to think that Ranallo is now officially done with being an announcer on SmackDown. I don't think he's no longer going to be on WWE programming. I think slowly but surely he's going to be announced that he's no longer working for the company. That's my attitude, and that's a really sad thing because he's actually brought more authentic realism to this show than any fucking announcer has since Jim Ross. And that's just really sad. So backstage, we had Baron Corbin announced to face Randy Orton one-on-one tonight, and that's because he hasn't heard anything back from Dean Ambrose, and he thought he'd have the night off, so Bryan accommodated him with a match with Randy Orton. We get our very first match in the night with American Alpha versus the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Now, I have to admit this. I'm starting to question, why the hell is the audience, chanting Usos? As if they're the good guys again? Are they starting to become popular again, playing as heel characters, or what? Because, honestly, I was hearing that a lot throughout the show. And before, they were had a lot of heat on them. People weren't liking them. They were hating on them, and I thought it was working out. But apparently, it's working in the sense that they are starting to be liked again. I don't understand that. It sounds a little fucking dumb to me. What are they going to do? Make them have the fucking paint on the face? Start going, Usos! Usos! Come on, man. That's just fucking dumb. But Usos and American Alpha, they had a fucking awesome match. This match was a 4 out of 5 star tag team match. Better than any tag team match so far this year. I don't think there's been a tag team championship match produced on SmackDown or Raw that has been anywhere near tonight's match. This was fucking awesome, and the Usos win the titles, which shocked the living hell out of me. I didn't think they were going to win. I thought they were just going to go ahead, have a good match, and the American Alphas would retain their titles. So I was a bit surprised on that one. From there, the next deal was Luke Harper did cut a promo. We finally seen him after losing to AJ Styles several weeks ago. And he's put a challenge on Bray Wyatt. So this is going to be interesting. Wyatt versus Luke Harper, and why he's facing Bray Wyatt is beyond me. I don't know why, but okay. Then we had Randy Orton. I already discussed about the actual segment with the Total Bella's gimmick ripoff, and they actually call it Total Bella's bullshit, which is actually kind of funny that they did that. So I thought that was pretty funny as hell for the title even. And Randy Orton versus Baron Corbin, very good match. Decently happy with that match. I thought that there was a lot of good action in this one. I mean, it was kind of generic in some cases, but it was still worth it. You know, it had its entertainment value to it. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Dean Ambrose came out, gave the assist to Randy Orton by distracting Baron Corbin, announcing that he would love to face him at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. Randy Orton pulls Baron Corbin around, hits the RKO, and gets the 1, 2, 3. So Baron Corbin has jobbed out to a couple of people in the last few weeks. I think it's time for him to pick up a victory. I think picking up this victory over Baron Corbin pick up the victory over Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania for the IC title would be the perfect thing for them to do for him at this point. And just help him build into a major heel on SmackDown. So that's really all I can say on that subject. But match itself was fun. I enjoyed watching it. Didn't have too many things bad to say about it. We later then, after the match ended, we had Randy Orton cut a promo about Bray Wyatt and how he is very surprised and feels that Wyatt is more dangerous than he was before when he was with the Wyatts. Seeing him put all that dirt on himself and claiming that Sister Abigail is now inside Bray Wyatt and all that jazz. It seemed very weird. But at the same time, I see that they are at least trying to do something new, different, and creative. They're taking a character that was never seen before of a spirit being placed inside of a wrestler that is on the show, that's this leader of a world of insanity, pretty much, in my own mind. That's how I look at it. Seeing that as if the world is all blinded by lies. And Sister Abigail has brought him more power and more of a gift to go from having a flaw to having a strength built within the flaw, which helped get Sister Abigail into his soul, within himself. So that was pretty interesting for him to say to Randy Orton during that segment, because at the point where he's cutting a promo about Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton's in the area that he was in, the lights start flickering. And then all of a sudden, he's surrounded by a sea of guys wearing fucking sheep masks. Beat the hell out of him, hold him down, and Bray Wyatt pretty much states everything I just said. So, yeah, that was very, very weird, I'd have to say, but very interesting at the same time. I think that brought a little bit more intrigue back to me as storyline-wise. I definitely liked it. It was kind of cool. I mean, it wasn't nothing gonna jump my interest so high, like I'm gonna go, oh my god, kind of thing. John Cena and Miz's storyline with the wife-girlfriend situation, that is definitely intriguing my interest. I find it extremely funny tonight what they did. So I was very impressed with that. I already talked about John Cena versus Fandango situation. Becky Lynch versus Carmella. This match, it was nothing. It had nothing to it. So I was I didn't even really pay attention to this match. Becky Lynch, though, did stand out on stand tall in the middle of this brawl that happened and was the last woman standing. So that's pretty much the overall gist of that. And then Shane McMahon came out, pretty much didn't say why he was able to get there without AJ not knowing about it, or explaining how he was able to sneak around the arena without having AJ see him. But the segment was interesting because he's calling out AJ. AJ playing a typical heel, saying, "Come on, cool your horses. You're like a raging bull in there. I just want to apologize. I did go a little overboard. I should have done some things a little bit differently. And I'd like to just go in the ring and straight up, legitimately, sincerely apologize to you for my actions and what I did and blah, blah, blah." Well, of course, you knew for a fact Shane McMahon was not going to accept an apology after he's got a fucking black eye for real and probably banged up to hell and got his ass whooped last week. There's just no way in hell that's going to be even believable. So, of course, they had to go that route, and that was the right decision to begin with. So, Shane McMahon's having an advantage a little bit with these lame-ass fucking gay-ass punches that he was delivering, which I really believe he needs to start doing something a little bit different, because they look like crap. AJ starts getting advantage over Shane McMahon at that point. He does a suplex into the barricade, pretty much looking like he folded Shane McMahon up into a fucking accordion. At that point, we see AJ trying to set up the table. Looks like he's going to try to do a Styles Clash on the announce table, but Shane McMahon manages to counter, does a back flip. He manages to backflip AJ over his shoulders, knocks him on the ground, and then puts AJ on top of the announce table, doing his typical generic move where he puts him on the announce table. He climbs up to the top rope from the inside the ring, from the turnbuckle, and hits a flying elbow. Hits the flying elbow, practically hurts himself in the process, hurts the side of his rib cage and so forth, and he wasn't looking good. So, I mean, to be honest with you, I think AJ got a better deal out of that move than Shane McMahon did. Shane McMahon looked like he actually injured himself more than he hurt AJ Styles in that whole entire situation. But, ladies and gentlemen, all I have to say is this show was fucking entertaining. I love these 2 hours worth of Smackdown tonight. It made up for 2 weeks of shitty-ass fucking programming with a little bit of decent storyline build-up. And tonight, it had good storyline build-up. It was fun. It was entertaining. I laughed. I enjoyed some in-ring action that happened. And I have to admit, good show by WWE SmackDown writers overall. Thank you very much for giving us at least something to look forward to watch for this week. Despite the fact Raw can't provide us shit ever because they have shitty-ass writers and Vince McMahon running the whole program. I don't know what his deal is with SmackDown, or if he has total control over that, or he's given some reins to Triple H to run that with his wife. But that's my overall opinion of SmackDown. I hope you have the same exact opinion as me, but if not, leave your comments and opinions down below. Tell me what you guys think they could have done to make the show a little bit better if you disagree with me. On top of that, guys, if you liked the video, hit the like button. I'll definitely appreciate that, and hit that subscribe button as well. Anyway, guys, I gotta hit the hay. I'm gonna go ahead and get some sleep before I have to go back to work tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the fucking morning, and I'll catch you guys later, alright? Speak to you later. Bye.